Hey folks, welcome back to another mobility session. My name is Chris Kading. Before we get started, all you'll need today is a mat and a broomstick, some sort of dowel. I'm just going to be using a PVC pipe. Now, as always, we like to begin our class out talking the difference between flexibility and mobility. Flexibility is quite passive in nature. You're trying to relax into stretches, while mobility is active. We're going to try to get into end ranges of all these different positions I'm going to take you through, and we're going to try to tense up. Okay, so before we get started, we're going to go through a little bit of flexibility, doing our ergonomic stretches. All the sitting we do nowadays, it's really important to stretch out some key areas. Your chest, your wrists, your hip flexors, and your hamstrings. So if you do not have your equipment just yet, go ahead and pause the video, grab your stuff, and then we'll get started. Okay, so the first stretch we're going to start with is a chest stretch. You're going to take your hands, place it behind your back like so. You're going to pull your shoulder blades back, pushing that chest out. You're going to lift your chin up and pull your hands back, feeling a stretch go across the chest, into the shoulders, maybe even a little bit into the biceps. Now, a rule of thumb to get a good stretch is usually about 20 to 30 seconds. So just let that body relax. We're going to open things up so when we get into our movements for mobility, we'll have more range of motion to train. Okay, just go ahead and roll those shoulders out a few times. Get some blood flow to the area. Let's go into our wrists. Go ahead and place your hand out in front, exposing your palm. You're going to take your other hand, bring it across by going in front of the hand, allowing the fingertips to be able to bend. So go ahead and pull back, getting a stretch going down in front of that forearm. Good, and as we're going into this, we're breathing, getting our body to relax. These muscles to let go. All right, next we're gonna flip that hand over, closing the fingernails forward. You're gonna take your other hand, come under, and pull those knuckles back, getting the back of the forearm. Good, allow that wrist to relax, shake it out a little bit. Move on to the other side. Expose that palm, hand comes in front, pull back, allowing the fingertips to still be able to curl. Okay, flip that hand over. Let's get the back side. Under, pull from the knuckles. Allow those fingertips to still be able to extend. Good, and take this time to really get connected with your body, where your tightness is, where your limited range of motion might be. Really important to get to become more in tune with your body throughout this process. Okay, next what we're gonna do, we're gonna stretch out those hamstrings. You're gonna put your heel down, toe up towards the ceiling, pulling towards the shin as well. You're gonna hinge over. You start to feel stretch go down the back side of the leg. Now, if you're not feeling it into the hamstrings, put a little bend in that stretching leg and just bring it over. That should usually take it out of the knee and bring it to the hamstring. Okay, go ahead and come back up. Other leg, heel down, toe up. Bring it on over. Very good. Okay, now let's move on to our hip flexors. Going down to a knee like so. You're going to tuck your hips in, really pulling from both ends of that hip flexor. You're going to let your weight drop in and forward while still keeping your chest up. Feel a stretch go right in front of that hip. Good, let's ease out of that. Let's go ahead and switch sides. Tuck them in, tuck those hips in, and bring that front knee forward. Very good. All right, back that on out. Okay, now we're going to take our time to transition to our mobility part of the session. We're going to go from our head, starting in our neck, going all the way down to our feet. So the first stretch, our mobility exercise we're going to do is called the neck matrix. The setup is very similar to what we did for the chest stretch. So we're going to take our hands, they're going to go behind the back. Now, instead of lifting our hands up, we're going to squeeze our shoulder blades back, activating those muscles between the shoulder blades, and pull our hands down. Now, we're trying to keep this tension here, drawing those shoulders down and keeping them retracted. Now, we're going to go in a big circle with our neck. Now, we're just going the biggest range of motion we can, and I want you to know, no pain. So here we go. Let's start by going backwards, real slow. Keeping that tension in your upper back. Pulling those hands down. Might be getting a good stretch in your neck right now, but we're getting activation all in the back side, from our shoulders down to our hands, in between our shoulder blades, and then also try to pull your core in by retracting your belly button. Good, and take your time. Bringing it around. Back and finish the first circle. Go ahead and release. Roll things out a little bit, shake things out. Get some blood flow to those areas. Let's do the other side. Hands behind your back again. Pull those shoulder blades back. Pull your hands down. Retract that core. And now let's go the other way, starting by going down. So here your shoulder. And getting that chin to come down to the chest. Rolling it around and take your time. Take about 20 to 30 seconds to complete each circle. You're nice and gentle. Finishing up. And back around. Once again, roll those shoulders out a few times. Okay, this next one is one of my favorites. Just forewarning, you're going to get some tingling because we're going to be working some mobility in the shoulder, and we're going to be working with our nerves. There's a big bundle of nerves called your brachial plexus, which starts in your neck, comes to your armpits, and by the time it's done branching, ends at your fingertips. These are called Brugers. So you start with your hands out, facing forward. You're going to pull your wrists back as hard as you can. We're activating here. You're going to spread your fingertips as wide as you can. Now squeeze your shoulder blades back. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to start rotating down slowly, trying to create tension in our forearms, pulling our hands back. Now double check these starting positions the whole time. Now from here, we're going to open our arms up big. Now we should start to feel a little bit of tingling. Those are those nerves getting stretched. Now, we're going to lift our right arm to start. We're going to lift up, try not to shrug, up and back. We're going to get in and hold, like so. Now try not to twist your body. Keep it all forward. Keep holding. 10 more seconds. Sure you're breathing. Big breath in. Big breath out. Go ahead and bring that arm down a little bit, still keeping the tension. Bring it forward a little bit to take some of it off. Now let's go left arm. Left arm up and back. Try to avoid any shrugging. Really try to squeeze that shoulder blade, pulling it down towards your hip. And hold. 10 more seconds. And bring it back down, bring it forward. We're not out of the woods yet. One more time with both sides at the same time. Up and back. Really trying to expose that chest, keeping your fingertips pulled down, pulling those hands back towards your wrists, and avoid any shrugging. None of that. Pull them down. 10 seconds. Five seconds. 3, 2, 1. Bring them down slow. Keep your tension. Don't lose it. Start bringing them forward. And slowly roll them back up. And I like to go a little extra. Good. Go ahead and shake all that out. Yeah, that one can get intense. So if you ever find yourself in those positions, you know, it's a little too intense, just always bring your arm back forward. Okay, the next movement we're going to go on to is called the shoulder dislocate. First exercise using our broomstick. So from here, we're going to take our hands, we're going to start out wide. Most people's shoulders are too tight to get really close, so go as wide as you can on your broomstick. Now what we're going to do here for the activation, we're going to squeeze the shoulder blades back. We're going to tuck our chin like we're giving ourselves a double chin or placing it against the headrest. And then from here, we're going to grab tight on our broomstick and we're going to pull apart without our hands actually moving. Now, once we've gotten activated, we're going to lift our arms up and over and around. Okay, the goal here is to go slow. We got 5 of these. Here we go. And begin. Get activated. Lift up slowly, working in that shoulders range of motion. Back. Try not to shrug. Try not to lunge your head forward. So get that head back and retract that core. Bring her back around slow. Very good. That's 1. And again. Nice and easy. Try to keep your tension. Go slow. If you find yourself shrugging or your elbows are bending, your hands are too close, so spread them out. Very good. Bring them back. And around, nice and slow. Good. 2 more. And control. Good. Last one. And bring it back. Good job. Once again, roll those shoulders out. All right, you're going to keep your broomstick for the next 2 exercises. The next one is called the twister. So you're going to take your broomstick, you're going to place it on the small of your back. You're going to get it right into the crook of your elbows, okay? Holding here tight, you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades back, but pulling your arms forward, getting activation throughout your arms. Now we're pulling our core in to try to keep that neutral spine. And now what we're going to do here is start about hip to shoulder width apart. Now what we're going to do here is we're going to pivot while still squeezing, pulling in, and rotating side to side. Okay, go ahead and get positioned right under the crook of the arms. Now start activating feet hip to shoulder width apart, and let's begin. We're going to do 10 total, so 5 each side. Ready? And squeeze. Bringing it around. A little slower than what I just did. Pivoting. Squeeze. Around there's 2. 3. 4, pivot, 5, 6, 4 more, 7, really try to pull in, 8, 9, and pivot one more time, squeeze, pivot slow, and back. Whew. Okay, take a quick moment. The next one we're gonna go to is the slap shot. So what you're gonna do, you're gonna take the broomstick, it's gonna be even lower on your back, kind of just above the hips. You're gonna place your hands right on the edge, right on the ends of the broomstick. You're gonna have your feet about hip width apart. And then what we're gonna do here is we're gonna hinge at the hips, little bend in the knees, but we're gonna twist under at the same time. So watch here first. You're gonna take the broomstick and you're gonna pull your hands forward, hinging over, getting down as far as you can, keeping your hips square, really squeezing, pulling in, and then control back up as 1. Okay, go ahead and get yourself positioned. Get it placed on your low back, hands out wide, feet hip width apart. Now start pulling your hands forward and begin. Pull, 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 hinge, try to keep your hips square. This is bottom position, and hold. Really try to open, tense up the core, squeeze the glutes, try to activate the muscles in your legs. If you're a golfer or a tennis player, this is a great move. All right, back up and finish. All right, other side. We're gonna do each side 3 times. And rotate. Squeezing, try to squeeze your shoulder blades, pull your hand in towards your left ankle, pulling in tight, stick that butt out, control, back up, other side. And now we're down. Keeping it square. Hold that tension, stick that butt out, pull that belly button in, and back up. Other side. Pulling in nice and tight. And back up. Last one, I'll do these ones from the side for you. Okay, and back in. Rotating, keeping that chest up. Pulling that core in. Trying to squeeze our glutes even though they're in a stretched position. Hold it strong. And begin to corkscrew back up. Nice and controlled. Ooh. All right, last one. And control back. Woo. Okay, very good job. We are all done with our broomstick, so you can place that to the side. The next one, we're still going to be working with rotational movements, but we will need no equipment for the rest of our workout. Okay, this next one is called supine scorpions. All of our rotational movements so far have been focused on the upper body doing the rotating. Now we're going to look at the lower body. So go ahead and lay down onto your mat. We're going to go ahead and put our arms out like a T, so real big. We're going to pull that core in, so tucking that pelvis. We're going to lift one leg up in the air, and then keeping our shoulders on the ground, we're going to rotate it over as far as we can without our shoulders coming up. Once we get to that position, we're going to tense up by pulling our shoulders into the ground, pulling our core in, hold that for 10, and then bring it back. Okay, go ahead and get in position, arms out like a T, leg up, and bring it over. Slow, pull that core in, control it. Try and keep that upper body flat. Rotating around, pull in. Now try to squeeze, just tense everything up from your feet to your hips, to your back, to your neck. Pull everything in tight. All right, control back. Good, 2 more. And rotate it. Get to that end range and tense up. Really try it. Here you really want to focus on the core, retracting that belly button. Pretend that someone's going to tickle you or punch you in the gut, and you kind of tense up like, hold that tight. All right, rotate it back. One last one. Very good. Hold tight, hold tight. And back up. Okay, switch to the other side. I'm going to go ahead and flip it around so you guys can see better. All right, arms out like a T. Go ahead and bring that leg up. And flip it on over. You might notice, which is very common on this, is you might be able to rotate to one side better than the other. Take note of this, because that should give you some hints on things to work on. Bring it back. 2 more. And bring it back. One more. And bring it back around. And finish. Very good. Just 3 more movements for today. The next one's going to be a little bit of rotation, a little bit of hip work. This one is one of my favorites. It's been a game changer for movements like squats and lunges. This one is called lizards with rotation. Okay, what we're going to do next, we're going to start in a push-up position. Now, I will just have you follow me foot by foot, hand by hand. So let's go ahead and come up into a push-up position. Now, what we're going to do here, we're going to take our left foot, bring it up by our left hand. So we bring it up. Now, what we're going to do here is drive that left heel into the ground and push our knees forward. Now, with our left hand, we're going to rotate under the right side of the body and reach. Okay, go ahead and reach. Now try one here, try to tense up. I even like to try to grip the ground with my fingers, pull that core in, try to let my neck rotate, holding here. Now rotate up, keeping your hips down, rotating up towards the ceiling. Now really try to pull that shoulder blade back. Try to tense everything up from your hips to your legs, to your shoulders, to your core. All right, back under, 2 more times. Very good. Hold it, reach, really try to reach. This should feel like work. If none of these movements felt like work, you got to tense up more. And back up, rotate.
And back down. Last one on this side. And back up. And back. Go ahead and reset. Other side. Okay, bring your right foot up. Now what you might notice here, this is going to expose which is your tighter hip. Okay, rotate under towards your right or towards your left side as you push that knee forward, brace your core, and rotate under. Hold, really reach. And rotate up, flex that wrist. Try to look at your pinky. And back down. And back under, one more. And back up. And relax. Whew, okay, just two more for you guys. This next one is one of my favorite ones for stretching out the hips. But as we stretch out, I'm going to cue you to be able to tense things up in your hips. This one is called the pigeon stretch. So take your time. You don't have to transition as quickly as I am, but take your time. Okay, you're going to start in all fours. You're going to take your left knee, bring it up towards your left hand, slide it up, and you're going to rotate that hip. So now your left heel is by your right knee. Once you have that, go ahead and slide that right leg back, allowing your hips to start sitting back. Now with our hands, they're going to help us be able to push back further. So from here, push back, trying to push our hips down towards the ground. And now we're going to tense up in the glutes, trying to squeeze, pulling that core in. You're going to hold this tension. Hold. Good. Now just relax. Don't come out of the position. Just kind of let your body weight come forward. Now, if you want to get more of a stretch, you just rotate this hip more, sliding that foot up. All right, here we go. And again, pushing down, trying to get those hips to touch the ground. Squeeze, tense up, hold. Really try to brace yourself, especially in these glutes. We're trying to gain stability and control in these stretched positions. In case your hip ever gets put into these types of positions, you have some strength there. Goes a long way with preventing injury. All right, relax out of that one. Got one more, and then we'll switch sides. All right, and slide it back. I'll really try to tense up this last one. Get everything you have. And relax. Go ahead and come back up to that all fours. I'm going to flip it around so you guys can see a little bit better. Next, what we're going to do is do our right side. So let's go ahead and bring that right knee up towards your right elbow, or elbow, your wrist. Rotate your hip in so your right knee or your right heel is next to your left knee. All right, and slide it back. Try and keep it completely straight. All right, really push it. You might find that one hip is tighter than the other. Very common. Good. Relax out of it. Got 2 more. And slide it back. And bring it up. 1 more. Big deep breath. Let it out. And push in. Just holding tight. All right, very good. Come on out of that. Very good. Okay, last one. We're going to work on the ankles a little bit. This has been also another game changer for my squatting because a lot of people don't realize most squats break down in the ankles because of poor ankle mobility. This one is called the combat stretch. If you take any of my mobility classes, you will see this one in every class. Okay, so you're going to kind of start in a very similar position the way we did for our hip flexor stretch. In this kneeling position, keeping everything nice and straight, hip, knee, and ankle. Place my hand on my thigh. I'm going to push it forward while I drive my heel down and try to lift up my toes. Okay, go ahead and get in position. Here we go. Heel down, toes up, and push forward. And I'm really trying to push with my hands to get this backside of my leg release. And I'm trying to pull up to activate in the shin so I have strength in this range of motion. All right, back it out. And in. Good, and out. 1 more. And back out. And switch sides. Last 3 reps I'm going to have you do on anything today. We're almost there. All right, get in position, hands on the knee. I'm going to go ahead and push it, heel down, toe up, and drive it forward. Really try to lift up those toes. And control it back. And back in. And back. 1 more. Pull those toes up, really activate. And bring it back. All right, folks, thank you for joining me. Feel free to, if you found value in this class, show some love, subscribe to my page, go to YouTube, look up CK Health and Wellness. CK is me, Chris Kading. And if you have any questions, always feel free to drop some comments. Until next time, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.